In the world of romance, it's often the subtle signs that reveal the most. When it comes to a shy guy liking you, his feelings might not be immediately obvious, especially since he's not someone who tends to openly express his emotions. Unlike more outgoing personalities, shy guys often communicate their interest in quiet, indirect ways, making it all the more intriguing when you start to pick up on these signs. You may notice him stealing glances at you, trying to stay close but not too obvious, or even getting a little nervous when you're around. Maybe he remembers those small details about you, things that even you might have forgotten, or he might find subtle excuses just to be near you, hoping for a moment of connection. These actions, though small, carry weight. In fact, they're often far more meaningful than grand gestures because they reflect a deep, genuine interest that he may not be able to express directly due to his shyness. But don't be fooled. His quiet demeanor doesn't mean he's disinterested. Quite the opposite. A shy guy will often try to impress you in ways that are more understated, offering his help or sharing something personal in a conversation to show he cares. Even though he's not the type to declare his feelings loudly, he's always paying attention, laughing at your jokes, remembering your favorite things, and maybe even getting a little jealous when other guys are around you. All of these small but telling signs are his way of showing that you matter to him. And then, of course, there's the classic blush and the awkwardness that comes when he's around you. His shy nature makes him feel vulnerable in these moments, but it also reveals just how much he's emotionally invested in the connection between you two. The way he avoids eye contact or stumbles over his words might seem like nervousness, but in reality, it's a sign that your presence is having an effect on him that he might not fully understand himself. In this post, we'll explore 13 signs that a shy guy likes you but is trying his best to hide it. Whether it's through his actions, his words, or the way he interacts with you, there are subtle clues that can give away his true feelings. So, if you've been wondering whether that quiet guy in your life has a secret crush on you, keep reading. You might just discover more than you expected. 1. He steals glances at you. When a shy guy likes you, one of the most telling signs is that he steals glances at you when he thinks you're not looking. Since he may not have the confidence to express his feelings openly, his eyes often do the talking. You might catch him watching you from across the room, quickly looking away when you turn his way. This behavior shows his interest and admiration, even if he's too nervous to approach you directly. These glances are subtle, yet meaningful. He may admire the way you smile, the way you talk, or even the little things you do. For him, looking at you might feel comforting or exciting, even if he can't muster the courage to make eye contact for long. This could also happen in group settings, where he watches how you interact with others while staying quiet himself. It's important to notice the pattern. If his eyes keep finding their way back to you, it's a strong indicator that you're on his mind. A shy guy stealing glances is his way of staying connected to you without stepping out of his comfort zone. It's a sweet and genuine sign of his feelings, even if he's trying to keep them hidden. 2. He gets nervous around you. When a shy guy likes you, his nervousness around you is often a clear sign of his feelings. He may feel overwhelmed by your presence, leading to behaviors like fumbling his words, avoiding eye contact, or even blushing unexpectedly. This nervousness stems from his desire to make a good impression while simultaneously fearing rejection or embarrassment. You might notice him fidgeting with his hands, adjusting his clothes, or playing with objects nearby when you're around. These are subtle ways he channels his nervous energy. He might also hesitate to start a conversation, overthink his responses, or pause awkwardly mid-sentence, unsure of what to say next. Sometimes, his nervousness manifests in exaggerated politeness or trying too hard to act casual, which can come off as endearing. It's not that he doesn't want to talk to you. It's just that his feelings make him hyper-aware of everything he says and does. This behavior highlights how much he values your opinion and the pressure he feels to appear perfect in your eyes. His nervousness is a genuine and honest reaction, showing just how much your presence affects him, even if he tries to hide it. 3. He finds excuses to be near you. When a shy guy likes you, Hell often finds subtle excuses to be near you. Since he may not feel confident enough to express his feelings openly, he uses proximity as a way to feel connected to you without making it obvious. This could be as simple as choosing to sit near you in a group setting, walking by your desk at work, or coincidentally ending up in the same places as you. You might notice that he volunteers to help you with small tasks, like carrying something heavy, explaining a concept, or assisting with a project, even if it's out of his way. These little gestures are his way of showing interest without having to say the words out loud. He may also linger around after conversations or find reasons to extend them, like asking questions or bringing up topics he knows you enjoy. In social situations, he might position himself where he can overhear or join your conversations. These excuses are rarely random. They're his way of creating opportunities to spend more time with you while staying within his comfort zone. His effort to stay close shows how much he values your presence, even if he's too shy to admit it. 4. He smiles when you're around. When a shy guy likes you, one of the easiest ways to tell is by his smile whenever you're around. It's an instinctive reaction that he can't hide, even if he's trying to keep his feelings a secret. His smile might be subtle, like a small grin, or it could light up his entire face when he sees you. You might catch him smiling while listening to you talk, even about ordinary things, because he enjoys your presence and the way you express yourself. Sometimes, his smile is a response to your laughter, your gestures, or just the way you carry yourself. It's his way of silently appreciating you without saying a word. Even in a crowd, his smile tends to stand out when he's focused on you. If he's particularly shy, he might try to suppress it or look away quickly, but the happiness on his face is still noticeable. This smile isn't just a friendly gesture. It's genuine and full of warmth, reflecting how much joy he feels simply by being near you. For a shy guy, this small, heartfelt expression can say more than words ever could. 5. He remembers small details about you. When a shy guy likes you, one of the most meaningful signs is that he remembers small details about you, even the things you might think are insignificant. Whether it's your favorite color, the name of your childhood pet, or a specific movie you mentioned once. He takes note of these little things because he genuinely cares and wants to connect with you on a deeper level. You might be surprised when he brings up something you casually mentioned in passing, like a hobby you enjoy, or a specific memory you shared. This shows that he's been paying close attention, even though he may not always openly express his interest. His ability to recall these details is a sign of his emotional investment in you. He might even use these facts to make you feel special, or to spark a conversation, like mentioning something related to your interests to keep the conversation going. For a shy guy, remembering these small things is his way of showing affection without being overly forward. It's his subtle, thoughtful way of letting you know that you matter to him, even if he struggles to express it in other ways. 6. He texts you randomly but keeps it casual. When a shy guy likes you, he may text you randomly, but he keeps it casual to avoid making things too obvious. His messages might seem light and nonchalant, like sharing something funny he saw, asking how your day is going, or commenting on something you both have in common. Even though the conversation might seem simple, the fact that he's reaching out shows that he's thinking about you and wants to stay connected. He may not dive into deep personal conversations right away. Instead, he'll keep things low-key, testing the waters. This way, he can gauge your response and keep the interaction comfortable. The randomness of his texts might feel like a coincidence, but it's actually his way of staying in touch without feeling too exposed or vulnerable. Sometimes these texts come at unexpected times, maybe after you've had a conversation earlier in the day or when he knows you're having a quiet moment. By texting you at these moments, he's giving himself an opportunity to connect with you without it feeling forced or too forward. His casual texting is a subtle, safe way for him to show that he's interested, all while keeping his feelings under wraps. 7. He seems protective of you. When a shy guy likes you, he may express his feelings through subtle acts of protectiveness. Even though he might not openly declare his emotions, his actions can show how much he cares about your well-being. He might step in to help if you're in a difficult situation, whether it's something as simple as holding an umbrella over you when it's raining or offering to walk you home when it's late. He may also show concern for your safety or comfort without being overly obvious. For example, if you seem uncomfortable in a group setting, he could try to subtly adjust the environment or make sure you're okay without drawing attention to himself. In conversations, he might listen intently to your problems and offer advice or reassurance, even if he doesn't have all the answers. His protective nature could extend to being a good listener, offering support when you need it most, and making sure you feel valued and safe. For a shy guy, protectiveness often comes from a place of genuine affection. And though he may not express it in bold ways, his actions speak volumes about how much he cares for you. 8. He gets quiet when you're around. When a shy guy likes you, one of the most noticeable signs is that he tends to get quiet when you're around. His shyness can make him feel unsure of what to say, especially if he's nervous about how you might perceive him. He might not be able to find the right words or feel like everything he says could be awkward, so he chooses to stay quiet rather than risk saying the wrong thing. You might notice that in group settings, he's more reserved when you're present, perhaps only chiming in occasionally or staying on the sidelines. His silence isn't because he's disinterested, quite the opposite. It's because he's deeply aware of your presence and may be nervous about making a mistake in front of you. Sometimes, his quietness can also be a way of observing you and understanding you better. He could be paying attention to your body language, your tone, or the way you interact with others, trying to find a way to connect with you that feels comfortable for him. In these moments, his silence is a subtle sign of his interest. He might be too shy to speak up, but every time you're near, he's focused on you, even if he doesn't have the courage to start a conversation. 9. He laughs at your jokes. When a shy guy likes you, one of the signs is that he laughs at your jokes, even if they're not particularly funny. His laughter is a way of showing that he enjoys your company and wants to make you feel good. He might laugh more enthusiastically than others, simply because he's eager to make a positive impression on you. Even if your joke is a bit silly, or you're just joking around casually, he'll often respond with a genuine laugh, sometimes even a little louder than necessary. His laughter might be a way of breaking the ice, or creating a moment of connection between the two of you. He could also laugh to show that he's paying attention to you and values your sense of humor. For a shy guy, laughing at your jokes could be his way of saying, "I like you," without having to put his feelings into words. It's also a sign that he enjoys your presence and feels comfortable enough around you to express that joy through laughter. For him, your jokes provide an opportunity to connect, and laughing is his way of saying he appreciates you, even if he can't find the right words to express it. 10. He compliments you in unique ways. When a shy guy likes you, he may compliment you in unique and subtle ways that stand out from the typical compliments. Instead of simply telling you that you look nice or that you're pretty, he'll pay attention to small details that show he's genuinely interested in who you are as a person. For example, he might compliment your laugh, your kindness, or the way you approach things with a positive attitude. He could also mention how you have a unique perspective on certain topics, or admire the way you carry yourself. These kinds of compliments are personal, thoughtful, and often reflect how much he appreciates the little things about you that others might overlook. His compliments might be softer or more indirect, like pointing out how your presence brightens up a room, or how you make him feel more at ease. He won't just focus on your appearance, but will often highlight the qualities that make you special and different. For a shy guy, these unique compliments are his way of showing admiration without being overly forward. He wants you to know that he notices the things that make you who you are, and he's genuinely fascinated by them. 11. He gets jealous when you talk to other guys. When a shy guy likes you, he might get a little jealous when you talk to other guys, even if he doesn't show it outwardly. His feelings for you are genuine, and seeing you interact with someone else can make him feel insecure or worried about losing your attention. Since he might not have the confidence to make a bold move, his jealousy comes out in small, subtle ways. He could become quieter or distant when he sees you laughing or engaging in a conversation with another guy, possibly retreating into himself or avoiding eye contact. He may also find excuses to interrupt or join the conversation, not out of malice, but because he wants to be the one you're focused on. In group settings, you might notice him looking over at you or glancing at the other guy, even if he doesn't say anything. This quiet jealousy shows just how much he cares and how deeply he values your attention. He may not feel bold enough to directly express his feelings, but his reactions to seeing you with someone else speak volumes. For a shy guy, this jealousy is his way of silently showing that you matter to him and that he wants to be the one who gets your attention. 12. He tries to impress you quietly. When a shy guy likes you, he may try to impress you quietly without drawing too much attention to himself. Instead of making grand gestures, he'll focus on subtle actions that reflect his abilities, interests, and qualities in a more understated way. He might offer to help you with something, like solving a problem or taking care of a task, showing his competence and thoughtfulness without boasting about it. He may also display his knowledge or skills in a casual way, such as mentioning something he's passionate about or sharing a talent you might find interesting, like a hobby or a personal achievement. He won't brag, but you can tell he's trying to share something special about himself. For instance, if you're talking about a specific interest, he might quietly offer to teach you something or share a piece of advice, all while maintaining his quiet demeanor. This is his way of impressing you without putting himself on display. His quiet efforts show that he's genuinely interested in you and wants to make a positive impression, but he does it in a way that feels comfortable and non-intrusive. He's not looking for praise. He just wants to show you who he really is in a more humble, reserved manner. 13. He blushes or avoids eye contact. When a shy guy likes you, he often blushing or avoiding eye contact are some of the most obvious signs. His feelings for you make him feel self-conscious, and his natural response is to get nervous or flustered in your presence. Blushing is a physical reaction that shows he's emotionally affected by you, and it happens involuntarily. If you catch him blushing when you talk to him, it's a clear sign that you've made an impact on him, even if he's trying to hide it. At the same time, he might avoid making eye contact with you because he feels nervous or unsure of how to act around you. He may glance at you quickly and then look away, or he might keep his gaze on the floor or elsewhere when speaking to you. This is a typical behavior for someone who's shy and doesn't feel entirely comfortable expressing their feelings yet, but it also reveals just how much you affect him. These little signs, blushing or avoiding eye contact, are ways for him to protect himself emotionally while still showing that he's interested in you. Even though he might be shy, his physical reactions give away his feelings in a way that words can't.